Howdy, folks. What's going on? This is Outlaw Hatfield back at you one more time. I got a special guest tonight. I got the Crazy Scotsman with me, and right now we've only got one person out there watching, which is Alan B. Pro, aka Janice Gay. There's Scott. How you doing, Scott? I'm glad you two could make it on time, even if I was late. Sorry about that. I was on Matt's chat, and you know how he is. He just keeps going and going and going. Hey, Midnight, how are you? Black cats out there, fine apes out there. Looks like we got a show, Scotsman.
Looks like we got a few people out there, that's for sure.
Well, we got 8 viewers right now. Hopefully, more show up along the way. We will have ourselves a little fun tonight. Talk about some things. Maybe discuss the future a little bit. In fact, why don't we go ahead and get into that? Since Jan is gay is already out there and waiting for this. Before the show started tonight, me and Scotsman was talking about doing another one of our little special shows with Alan B. Pro and Joey Cuz. So I think we ought to get that one going, don't you?
Absolutely, man. We can make that happen.
Yeah, we had a blast with that last time. Had a
That
few
was a damn good
special
show.
had a few special appearances in there, and we did some good for Mr. Holster the last time.
Absolutely.
Uh,
I do have a total number for anyone that's interested in that.
oh, we
Uh,
are.
all the shirts we sold, we raised over $1,700 for Mr. Holster.
Wow, that's impressive. And we didn't run that very long, did we?
3 weeks.
That's impressive. That's a lot of shirts, dude.
That's a lot of shirts, and no one spent a dime other than the people that bought shirts. It didn't cost me nothing. I simply asked this guy to jump in, help out, and he jumped on it, and we got over $1,700 for Mr. Holster.
Very good, very good. Have you heard any updates about Mr. Holster? Is he, okay right now? Has they heard anything else? Anything new?
He posted a vid not too long ago. He's actually doing okay. I guess he had a scan, and the scan was clear on his back. So he's got some more scans and stuff he's got to get done, but he's doing his basic treatments right now. I think he said he has 12, so he had one of 12. So far, he seems okay with them. Hasn't really affected him too much, but hopefully he can hang in there, and hopefully they don't affect him at all, and he'll be all right.
Well, that's what we're shooting for. We want Mr. Holster alive and healthy, just like the shirt says. In fact, I finally got my shirt in the mail last week. Um, these are very nice shirts. They really are nice shirts. Quite
He,
comfortable.
he did a damn good job.
No, well, you know what? I think we all did a damn good job. And I'm still going to work on getting Mr. Holster on the show some night. I want a one-on-one with him, or at least a one-on-one with Jack, if that's at all possible. I know Jack's hard to talk to, but,
Yeah, I'll try to get him on the phone and see if we can't set that up.
I'd love to have a conversation with Jack about some of
He's
his exploits.
he's ignored the weasel one too many times. He needs to answer his damn phone.
Yeah, well, Jack's still making phone calls apparently.
Yeah, I can get Jack. I just can't get Mr. Holster.
Uh,
But all Jack wants to do is play frickin' poker, and I'm not playing poker with Jack.
anybody that's wise doesn't play poker with Jack. That's just not something that you really want to do. Some things aren't too bright, and that's one of them.
I mean, I can play poker with the best of them. I'm actually pretty damn good at it. But Jack, yeah, Jack's a cheater. I'm not playing with Jack.
Yeah, well, what can you do? Jack is what Jack is, and you know, little womanizing sucker that he is.
Dude, he hides cards under his collar.
He had something somewhere. I don't
I
know.
mean, suddenly he's got, four aces, and I already have two aces in my hand, so how the hell does he have four aces?
Look, don't. asked me to explain Jack's way of doing things because I don't know if he's senile or just getting that way. I think there's something just not right with Jack at the moment. He's trying to pull off some crap. He's been trying to pull off crap for the last several weeks. I mean, with that phone call he gave me, I'm still flustered about that. And Alan giving him my phone number, you jackass. Luckily, he hasn't used it again yet. I'm expecting it though.
Oh, you'll get another one. I'm sure you will. He calls me on a daily basis,
Well,
and he keeps trying to get me to give out other people's numbers, and I won't do it.
well. Apparently, there was a marker involved in whatever. What the hell did he have hanging over Alan? That's my question.
Well, hold on. Was it Alan or was it Jan?
It was Alan.
Oh, no, because if it was Jan, God knows only whatever the hell Jack had hanging over him.
Well, apparently, Alan screwed up somewhere along the way, and Jack got him in something. So he called in the marker, and Alan gave him my phone number.
It had to have been something good.
Well, we're talking about Alan here.
It had to have been something good because I'm sorry. There's no way Jack's gonna marker on me. Ain't gonna happen, dude.
Well, that's what I told him. I refused to go to Vegas with him. It just wasn't going to happen. So let's get into this interview, man. That's why we're here. We're here to talk about the crazy Scotsman, get inside his head, his heart, figure out what's going on with him. Um, you run a gun range, don't you? A shooting range.
I run a gun store and a gun range. Yep.
And where would that be located?
I'm in Ohio.
So, anybody in Ohio looking for a good place to go shoot, what would you suggest?
I would suggest you contact me and I'll hook you up.
There you go. There you go. So, it's all indoor?
It's all indoor right now. I am trying to get a hold of the local chief of police so I can see if I can go outside because we do have quite a bit of acreage behind the range, and I would like to try and get outside if we can.
Now you say acreage. How many acres would that be? Two or
I'm
three,
talking
five or
double
six?
digits.
Oh, lots of acreage.
Now, the problem with the acreage is it's all filled with trees.
So it'd take a little work.
It'll take a little bit of work, but the biggest thing is making sure that yes, we can do it. So I got to check with the chief and make sure it's okay. If he says it's good, then trees are coming down and chop, 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 and bang, 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 bang.
So you could theoretically go out to a couple hundred yards. Then is that what you're saying?
Couple hundred yards plus.
Wow. Uh, I wish I could find somewhere like that around here. There's just there's nowhere with that much free land that anybody could do anything like that.
We are roughly on 10 acres.
Also, yeah, you got plenty of land.
So yeah, I got a lot of land behind me.
Hmm. Well, good luck with that, and keep us posted on how that one goes, brother.
I will, because that right there is going to be huge. If I can get outside, then we're going to stay busy, open to close every day of the year, 365 days. That's it, dude.
Now, especially in the summer months, you're gonna make a killing.
Yeah, well, I mean, right now we are dead in the water, dead in the water.
So,
It's pretty slow. It's dying off. Sun's coming out. It's been a long winter, and because it's been a long winter and the sun's coming out, people are jumping right outside now while they can. So everything else is dying off.
well, let me ask you. That, you're the first guy that I've actually had on the show who runs a good shooting range. So I've got to ask you. You've got to have some stories. What are some of the things that you have seen or have had happen with you present at the range that makes you just go, "What the hell were you thinking?"
Oh, dude, I got all kinds. Most recent one was yesterday. I'm the RSO. I'm out there. I'm watching people. That's what the RSO does. We're watching, making sure everyone's being safe. And this one guy's out there, and we call him the tactical jackass. And we call him the tactical jackass because this guy literally comes in. He's got a drop leg rig that he literally made himself with parts and pieces and just slapped it all together. He has a fucking knife on the back of his on his belt. He has everything you can think of. Like this guy's fully fucking loaded up, has no clue what he's doing, but has got more shit on him on one fucking belt than the average Joe can fit on his belt. So we call him the tactical retard, the tactical jackass. Well, he's in there shooting with his wife, and I'm guessing it's his wife anyway. And he's trying to show off. He's making fun of her, this, that, the other, and so on and so on. This goes on for about a good 35 minutes. Well, at that point, they start shooting the AR. And I'm watching them and I'm watching them. And the biggest thing when people are shooting guns like that is we watch the muzzle to make sure the muzzle's not going high, so they don't hit our lines and stuff like that. Because our range is it's an old school range that I have right now where we have the cable wires and all that stuff. So got to be real careful and watch people's muzzles and everything else. So I'm watching and the guy's doing fine, muzzle staying good. She starts shooting and she's doing fine. And I literally turn away for 1 second. And all I hear is ting, ting, boom. She shot the fucking target hanger in half. In half. She was literally doing fine. She was on target, no problem, in the center. And then suddenly she jumps 2 feet high and shoots my target hanger in half.
Wow. And how much do those things cost to replace?
I charge people $50. You shoot my hanger, you pay $50. You shoot my line, you pay $50. You shoot my camera, you pay $300. And if you don't like my rules, get the fuck out.
Lord have mercy. So what are some of the other stories that you've got?
Oh, dude, there's all kinds. I mean, you'd be surprised how many people you tell these people. So there's signs everywhere. So before you go on my first door, eyes and ears, biggest thing. We have 2 doors going into the range. Before you go in the first door, there's a big fat sign, eyes and ears. Everyone tells you eyes and ears before you hit that first door. The amount of people that open that door without having their eyes and ears on and go in, and that second door opens, and someone's shooting an AR or a shotgun, and they go, oh, yeah! Like, dude, we fucking told you.
Now, do they have to sign waivers at your place?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. They have to sign a waiver. They have to watch a safety video. It's about 8.5 minutes. I don't care if you are trained by fucking you name it, whoever. I don't give a shit who you're trained by. You fucking watch the video and you do the waiver, then you can shoot.
Okay. Well, I've seen that before. I've just not seen it a lot. That seems like it's something new that's just getting into certain places, certain shooting ranges.
Well, there's ranges around me that don't do that. There's ranges that literally there's no RSO out there. And I will tell you, when I first kind of got into this gig, I did not think that an RSO was always necessary. But the more I'm out there and the more I see the dumb shit that happens, yeah, an RSO is necessary 100% of the time. And it costs more money, obviously, but I'm willing to spend that money to make sure that people are safe.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this: as somebody that's in the firearm industry that has his own gun shop that has to deal with laws and stuff that comes down the pipe, What do you think about the new laws that are trying to get forced down our throats right now concerning the Second Amendment?
It's a constant struggle. It's a constant battle. And the biggest thing, not just for myself that runs a range, that runs a gun store, that's been in the industry for the last 10 years, is the biggest thing is the people have to speak up. So every one of us has to step up. We have to contact our representatives. We have to send emails. We have to make phone calls. We have to do this because that's what makes the difference. These people are being voted in by us. They have to have our vote. If they screw up, if they start saying they're all for this and fighting against us, guess what? They're not going to get in.
So, how does that affect your business?
Generally, I mean, in the last 10 years that I've been doing this before I jumped into this gig, a lot of times it'll affect it where gun sales go up. Um, Obama was the greatest salesman ever. Biggest piece of shit on the planet, but greatest gun salesman ever. The second he got in office, gun sales went through the roof, ammunition sales went through the roof, and it was impossible to get all kinds of stuff. I mean, I was making phone calls, calling in favors, you name it, for people to get guns for people, to get ammunition for people. I was calling in every favor I could. It makes a big difference. Now, with some of the stuff that's going on now recently, it's not as bad because Trump's in place, and so people aren't freaking out as much. But again, the biggest thing there is yes, we have a president that currently, as far as we know, supports the Second Amendment. The biggest thing there is don't rely on that alone. We still have to fight the states. We still have to fight all those people out there that are fighting for office. So we got to keep the fight going. We have to contact representatives. We have to fight. We have to email, call, you name it. We got to do it.
I don't know. At this point, I'm not sure that I trust Trump's judgment on certain things, or I don't trust the people that he's taking advice from at the moment.
I think a lot of things behind Trump is, and this is coming from an outside perspective too. So you guys all know I'm not from here, so this is kind of an outside perspective. Is he's doing what he needs to do in order to not only keep the position he has, but he's doing what he needs to do to make certain people happy. At the same time, he's fighting battles within, and from what I can tell and what I can see, I would say he's fighting those battles and doing it in a way where, just like a businessman does, he is a businessman. That's who he is. It's the same thing. So if I gotta talk to one person, I'm not gonna pull him up in front of everybody and say, "Hey, you're an asshole. You're a jackass. You fucked up." I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna pull him aside, take him in the office, sit him down, and talk to him. All right. So it's kind of the same way with him. He's got all these people that are saying, you got to do this, you got to do that, blah, blah, blah. And they're all jumping in on top of him. Well, he's going to say what he has to in the interim to get them off his back. But then he's going to pull him in the office and sit him down and say, hey, look, you're a jackass. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, it's a scary situation, honestly, because we voted Trump in hoping that finally we would have somebody in there that's going to sign what we need signed and get rid of what we don't need. And so far, it don't look like he's done a whole lot when it comes to the Second Amendment, at least on the pro side.
Yeah, I mean, on the Second Amendment side, I've not seen a ton from him. He's done a lot of other things that are positive. But he definitely needs to step up the plate when it comes to the Second Amendment. He's gone back and forth on bump stocks, and I really don't give a shit about bump stocks because it's just a fucking facade anyway, whatever. I really don't give a shit. But it's more to the point of you have no right to fucking ban it, so don't fucking ban it. That's the point.
I have to agree with you there.
You know, they're to me they're a piece of junk. But it's the fact that you don't have the right to fucking do so. Do not infringe my fucking right.
Well, that's what I've said all along. If you know, I'm not one of these people that believes in compromise at all. I don't think you compromise when it comes to the Second Amendment. We're not going to give up a bump stock. We're not going to give up a hand grip. We're not going to give up a butt stock. Uh, we're not going to give up magazines. Period. I mean, and that's just always been the way I see it. I mean, I don't necessarily want a M60, but if my neighbor wants one, why can't he have it? That's his right.
And that's it. That's the biggest thing. It doesn't matter. There's this stupid thing of, well, why do you need one? It's not that I need one. It's my fucking right to have it if I want to.
Exactly. Just that's like saying you can't have a pickup truck. Why? Because there's a law against it. Why is there a law against it? Because we want everybody to have cars. Well, why can't we have pickup trucks too? Because you might haul something that we don't want you to haul. Well, you know, oh well.
Yeah, and we've talked about it before, but it's just kind of like back home. We don't have guns back home. But you know what? Guess what? Guess how many people died with knives? A shit ton. Guess how many people died with fistfights? A shit ton.
So that you bring up an interesting thing right there. You're from Scotland, right? Um, how long have you been in the states?
I've been here 11 years.
And in out of that 11 years, you've been in the gun industry for 10. That's impressive.
Almost 12 years. And yes, I've been in the gun industry for going on 10 years. It'll be 10 years in March.
Now, was you a huge firearm fan in Scotland before you came
No,
here?
I actually the only firearm I ever touched back home was a side by side shotgun on the farm because I grew up on a farm. I was not technically raised by my parents. I was raised on the farm that I worked at by an ex SAS um, person. He's a very good friend of mine. I haven't talked to him in a long time, unfortunately, but he was ex SAS and one hell of a badass. But he's the man that raised me. My father never raised me. My father is, in my eyes, a piece of shit. Um, I haven't talked to him in 14, 15, 16 years. I've lost count.
Huh.
I was raised by the guy on the farm who, after working for him for about 2 weeks, he pulled the van over and pretty much told me I had two choices. Choice number one was shut the fuck up and do my job. Choice number two was get your ass beat. I went with choice number one and shut the fuck up and did my job.
Sounds like a wise decision.
I worked for him for over 6 years. The last 4 years I worked for him, I never got paid because I told him that I know you don't make a shit ton of money. Just give me a hot meal and a beer and I'm good.
Sounds like a winning proposition to me. Um, so you moved to the states. You're here for a couple years. How long did it take you to buy that first
So I was about I was about 2.5 years before I finally got into the gun industry, and it was when I moved to back to California again. Um, the job offer I got fell through, and my buddy that originally lived in California moved to Oregon, and I contacted him, and I was like, hey, can you contact your mother and see if I can stay with her for a couple of days because I can figure out what I'm doing. And he's like, sure, call her. She's like, yeah, no problem. So I went over there, and he's like, you can come out here, stay with me. We got a room for you, whatever. See about getting you a job. And So basically, I ended up selling my Jeep that I had at the time and flew out there the next day and had a couple of part-time jobs here and there on and off. And then I got the job that got me into guns. And I worked for that company for 8 years before I took this job I'm currently in now.
Hmm. Well,
And I didn't buy my first gun, funny enough, until about 2.5 years into the job.
so
Now
what was it?
I shot plenty of guns, but I never bought one until about 2.5 years into the job.
So what was the first purchase? What was the first gun you bought?
The first handgun I purchased was a Ruger Super Blackhawk in 44 Magnum.
You went big.
You go big or you go home. The first rifle I ever shot was a 30-06.
There you go. There ain't nothing wrong with either one of those two choices. Um, now let's take a minute here to see who all's out on the gun channels and YouTube side. Um, I wanted to give it a little while, let people get in here from Matt's chat. We have Fine Ape, Steve Johnson, Cycle Camp. How you guys doing? General Relativity, Dead Horse, and Gizzard Gary over on the gun channel side.
We got Zorro out there. Send Zorro a link.
You sure this is supposed to be a one-on-one, brother?
I want Zorro in here.
You want Zorro in here? We'll
I
get
want
Zorro.
Zorro in here.
Well, everybody likes Zorro, so I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll make an exception for the night, and I will get Zorro in here just for you. Armament and Axes over on the YouTube side. Alan B Pro, really gay Jan for real. Huh. Ghost Tacticals out there. There's a lot of gay Jans out there. You know what I'm saying?
I think we're just gonna go ahead and ban them all.
Mm, I don't know how that'd go over. Armament and Axes. Alan Black Cat. George Grayson Cat. That's interesting. Black Cat's out there. Rich White. Midnight Range is hanging around out there. Let's see. Chris Vector. Interesting. Fine Apes over there as well. Now Jennings Gay is showing up. Man, what is going on? Vanessa Kitty. And of course Zorro and Sandhill Shooter. And Jared is out there. And Espada. Apparently, someone is requesting your presence, so I'm shooting you a link. If you will check your email, it will be there. Let's see. That was easy enough to do. So let me ask you something. What are your opinions on children and firearms?
I'm all for it, dude. So most people don't know, but I'm trained in martial arts, and for me, teaching kids how to defend themselves is huge, absolutely huge. Not only does it teach them how to defend themselves, it actually teaches them respect and how to live, and respect for what they're doing. So when it comes to guns, I do the same thing. I'm all for it. I want to teach kids how to shoot. I want to get kids in. I see parents bringing their kids all the time, and I help them and I work with them in order to get those kids shooting right.
Yeah, I figure with you and working on the shooting ranges and stuff like that, you have a lot of opportunity to be hands on with the younger shooters out there. Um, do you make an effort to spend a little more time with them, helping them out, getting them adjusted?
Oh yeah, I make it a big effort, and not just with them too, but with everybody. If I see someone out there and they're shooting and they're doing something wrong, or they have a question when it comes to, well, why am I shooting left, or why am I shooting right, or what am I doing wrong here, that, or there, I jump in and I want to help out. So I give them direction the best I can. So I'll stand there and I watch, and that's the biggest thing with an RSO is watching people. And you got to watch. So there's 9 lanes, and you got to watch every lane whenever who's out there. So you're walking back and forth, and you're trying to keep an eye on everything that's going on. So if you get like a new shooter out there, generally you're gonna obviously spend more time down with the new shooter. So you're kind of keeping your eye more on them, but at the same time, you still got to watch everyone else. Now that new shooter is going to get a little bit more instruction, a little bit more help because they obviously need it, and we want to make sure that they get the right way introduction to firearms because we don't want them to shoot, be scared, and run away and not want to do it. So we all take the time and we all make sure that new shooters and kids and families that come in are all taken care of.
Cool, man. Cool. Well, Espada has joined us. How are you, Zorro?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Zorro, what's up, brother, man?
I'm doing good. And yourself, Scotsman?
Not bad, man. Glad you could join us. We had to have Zorro in here.
Thank you.
I think you've got a fan there, Zorro.
I'm a fan of him too, so it works out.
Yeah, it does work out. It will work out.
I'm gonna send you a hat, man, so we can get this all set. I'm gonna send you the hat and ask Janice Gay for the mask because I'm sure shit not sending you a mask.
Okay, I'll get a rapier.
Yeah, I thought we had already talked about you getting a rapier. I thought we had already made that plan.
I'll let everyone choose the rapier.
Oh, okay. Well, let me choose the rapier. I'll find you a good Zorro rapier.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. I'll pick it out. You can pay for it.
Okay.
So, anyway, well, guys, I'll tell you what. It's that time of the show where we normally turn it over to the viewers, and if they have questions for anybody on the panel here, myself, Crazy Scotsman, even Espada, we'd love to hear from you. Just type them out, and I will get to them as soon as I possibly can. So let's see those questions. I'm sure there's some out there. Have at it, guys. The floor now belongs to the chat.
Better get typing, people.
Ellis won't turn up his mic. My mic's up as high as it's going to go, brother.
I'm gonna give a quick shout out. Gizzard Gary's out there, and for those of you that don't follow Gizzard Gary on Instagram or anything else, his mother passed away, and he's a trooper and a very good friend. So Gary, we appreciate you, brother. We're all thinking of you. We're all praying for you, and we're all here for you if you need anything, man.
Yeah, he about teared up on us last night. It was a very special moment. Gary's one of my buddies. I pick on him, he picks on me. But I consider Gary a very close friend and a brother. So
he's a very cool guy, man. I haven't talked to him very long, but trust me, he's a cool guy, and I'm happy to know him. So
from the time that I talked to Gary, he's a cool guy. I really respect him very much, and for everything he has helped me try to figure out how to do things with YouTube and everything. So I want to say thank you to Gary.
There you go. You got a question, Scotsman. Do you know anything about the 10mm Kimber 1911? It's the only one approved for California.
I do not, but Philo, I can look into it and I will let you know, dude.
And believe me, Philo, if he says he's going to do something, he is a man of his word.
It might take me a little bit, but I'll get there.
He has surprised me on more than one occasion. He is a weasel. You got to watch out for him.
I'm a very busy weasel though, so you got to give me some time.
He's a weasel with a heart. Oh Lord. I wasn't aware that Kimber was making a 1911. When did that happen?
The Kimber was making in 1911.
Yep.
Kimber's been making in 1911s forever, dude.
Well, see, I've not been keeping up with Kimber, so
They
I
they
mean, don't,
suck at it, but they've been making them for a long ass time.
yeah, I don't, you know, I thought Kimber hadn't made a 1911 for quite a while now. They might have, but like I said, I don't really keep
Well,
up with Kimber because
here's why I say Kimber 1911 is not very good. And in my opinion, and this is just my opinion and things I've seen over the 10 years I've been doing this, is the best way that I describe it when someone asks me about a Kimber 1911 is I tell them it's all dressed up, but it has no party to go to. It has no show to go to. They put a lot of trimmings on there, but it don't qualify as an actual 1911. You want something quality, buy something else. Kimber is not it. They have a lot of problems. I've sent so many back for repair over the years. It's not even funny. They're just junk.
okay. Speaking of sending guns back for repairs, how many Rock Islands have you sent back for repairs? 1911s.
In the last 10 years, 2.
Now that tells you something, ladies and gentlemen,
In the
right there.
last 10 years, how many Kimbers have I sent back?
It's
Probably at least 30 to 35.
yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. People are asking me all the time. Uh, I'm confusing Kimber with Mimber. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Um, People ask me all the time if they're looking for a budget 1911. Where do they start? I always go with one of the arms
Rock
corps.
Island does a
Rock Island.
phenomenal job.
Yep.
Rock Island, believe it or not, yes, they're made in the Philippines, but they do a phenomenal job.
You can't beat them for the price. For the
You
price,
cannot.
you cannot beat them.
It was about 6 years ago. I actually talked to the head manufacturer for about 2 hours. And it was a very interesting conversation because he went through everything, broke it all down. And I can tell you, they take the time to do it right. They really actually do. I was very, very impressed with one, the fact that he spent 2 hours on the phone with me, and it was a video conference call. But I was very impressed with that. But I was very impressed with all the stuff they broke down, the machinery, the amount of actual handwork that goes into it, because there's a lot of handwork that they don't put out there that's actually done on those guns, versus Kimber, where Kimber is all MIM parts now. And that's part of the problem with Kimber, and that's one of the reasons I really do not like Kimber is they do a lot of bullshit with MIM, and you have a lot of problems with that stuff.
Uh, I remember, back 20 years ago when somebody said Kimber 1911, it was a decent gun. I mean, they were top of the line 1911s, but they were handmade pretty much one at a time. They were a semi-custom job.
And that's how they made their name. This was back in the 90s. Back in the 90s, and this is before I even got into guns. Back in the 90s, they were actually doing them all hand fitted. They were all doing them handmade. And that's how they built their name. And once they got their name to a certain point, they started doing all the MIM shit. And that's when all the issues started coming in. They've had issues for the last shit as long as I've been doing this, and I've been doing this for 10 years.
Yep. But yeah, I always point people toward Rock Island. It's just if you're looking, and it goes to show you that you do not have to pay a fortune for a 1911 to get a damn good 1911. You don't
No,
have to pay
I'll tell you
$1,200.
right now, I've shot a few different ones of the Rock Island 1911s, and every one of them has worked flawless. And I'm still on the hunt. I have one in mind that I want personally that I haven't been able to get yet. It's on my list, and it'll probably be the next firearm when I actually have the money to buy another firearm. That's the double stack 10 millimeter high capacity, which is 16 rounds of 10 millimeter, and you don't want to mess with that gun.
Well, see, I know somebody else that wants one of those.
I shot their single stack 10 millimeter, and it was awesome.
Yeah, there's this guy named Hatfield. He's wanting one of those too. So
yeah. I'll let you know when I find it.
Yeah, you do that just so you can buy it out from under me, right?
I've found them a few times at really good prices, but the problem is every time I find it, I don't have the cash.
That's my issue as well. I've been after a Chris Vector now for quite a while, and eventually I'm going to get one. Eventually, it might have to wait till tax time 1 year, but eventually, I will have one. And people complain that they're junk and they jam a lot, and this, that, and the other, and I really don't care. I still want one.
Yeah, you're gonna have issues with a Chris Vector. I shot one. It was
now
was it fun to shoot? Yeah. Did I have a lot of issues? Yeah, I had a lot of issues.
So my question is this: did you shoot a 9mm 45? What was it? Because I've heard that the 9mm version is the one that they're having most of the issues with. Not the 45 caliber; they're not having hardly any because that's the way the brand of the gun was actually designed to fire.
I'm pretty sure it was a 9mm. I mean, there was nothing to it, but it kept having feeding issues, jamming issues. I mean, every 15, 20 runs, I'm having to clear something and recycle the gun and everything else. It's just a pain in the ass.
Well,
it was fun to shoot, but if I need it in a hurry, it's not gonna be a gun I'm gonna have on me.
Well, there's something that I know about you, and the people that's actually gotten to know you knows that a lot of people in this chat might not know. You like CZs. That's your bread and butter right there, right?
Oh, I love CZs.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong. If you need a firearm and you want something reliable, CZ's the way to go.
Yeah, you got to watch out where you say that, though. So there's these certain group of people out there who think that a mediocre gun is actually perfection. So we try to.
Yeah, they can stick their Glocks up the rear end. And while they're at it, they can eat a ball of dicks.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the views of the Crazy Scotsman does not necessarily reflect those of this show.
Disclaimer: does not reflect the Outlaw Hatfield channel. Please, this is disclaimer. Repeat disclaimer.
And if you didn't realize, this is not YouTube friendly.
I think they figured that one out when you dropped that first F-bomb.
You're fucking welcome.
See there, this is what I get for having somebody like the Crazy Scotsman on my show. Now I've been kind of rude here. I haven't talked to Espada a whole lot since he's been here. Espada, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Just waiting out until the exams is my last week, and I'm vamonos.
So how are you doing so far on those exams?
For philosophy, I got to be on my test, so at least I got to be in the class.
There you go.
I'm just waiting for 2 other classes and basically done this week.
What other classes you got going on, dude?
Math and history.
Are you confident?
Which one are you most excited about?
Well, I'm more excited about history. Math, I'm kind of like, I'm not the what should I say? I'm not the well sharpened sword in the bunch.
Well, I've got the same problem with math. Me and math does not get along very well.
That's why they invented calculators.
Exactly. Or Night Strike. He's pretty good at math. So if I had a really,
I wish I was good at math. I'm not good at math at all.
I don't have to worry too much about a calculator. I got a Night Strike, so I get a real toughie. I'll just call him and say, "Hey, look."
If you can get him on the phone.
No, no, no. Ellis does not like Glocks. Anybody that's listened to my show for any more than 5 minutes would probably figure that one out. I own a single Glock, and the only reason I own that was because Ghost Tactical decided to send me his carry gun. So, and out of respect for him, I actually made a video of me trying to shoot this thing, and it's on my channel. You can look it up. It didn't go well. Sight sucked. Slide didn't want to work. Couldn't get the magazines to release. It's the gun was a pain in the ass. Um, but I do appreciate Ghost for sending it to me. It was a great, thoughtful gift. And not too long before that, Clover decided he really wanted to mess me up and sent me 2 rounds fired out of a Chris Vector. That one hurt the heart a little bit. That
No,
one,
that's got a sting.
yeah, that one hit me in a soft spot. I've still got them wrapped in the same tape that he sent them in.
Well, I am very proud to say I have 0 Glocks and will always remain that way. 0 fucking Glocks.
I want to give you a high five and a shake in the hand, Scotsman, because I don't like Glocks.
I'm sorry, but if you want perfection, you buy a Steezy. They're
Or
all
Beretta.
handgun, they're all hand fitted, and some of the best pistols you will ever shoot in your life.
Beretta's pretty good too. You got to give Beretta props.
Oh, I do. I own multiple Berettas. I've purchased and bought and sold and given away multiple Berettas. Unfortunately,
Well, if you need the address for my my FFL, just let me know, and yeah, you can send me a couple. I'll
yeah, I'm not getting rid of anything else.
just out of the kindness of your heart.
No, I'm pretty sure my heart's dried up.
until somebody else gets sick, and then you'll see the Scotsman come out, the weasel that he is.
Hey, weasels stick together.
Yes, we do, don't we? Um, you know what? Out of the bunches and bunches of people that I have met since I've been doing these shows, Scotsman, I have not seen anybody nearly put themselves out there in charitable ways as you have. The things that you do for people, guys that you've never even laid eyes on, guys that you've never even met. Um, it's a testament, man. It's a testament to the type of person that you really are. And we appreciate that. We truly do. If there were more of you or like you out there, I have a feeling that people's opinion on the gun owners in this country would change drastically. They think that we are all just heartless, cruel idiots that just wants to shoot guns and blow shit up. Well, that's not the case, and you're living proof of that. And we all appreciate you for it.
I appreciate that, man. I just do what I do. You guys, again, I've said it before, but I'll say it again because you guys, to me, all you guys out here are family. Um, I don't have family here. You guys know that. So when I started doing this stuff almost 2 years ago, jumped in and started doing these, and it was only in the last year that I really got serious on this on YouTube. I've met so many good people on here, just talking to people, emails, um, shit, people sending me their phone numbers, talking to them on the phone, text messages, live streams. I've been to 2 different shoots with a bunch of people, and it's just been phenomenal. Phenomenal. I have met more good people here that I literally call my family than I've met in my entire life. And so that's kind of why I do what I do. Is if one of the people that I talk to on a regular basis has a problem, I'm going to jump in and do what I can.
Now, let me ask you. Now, this is the idea behind this particular Monday night show, is to get people on here that are involved in the guns and gun industry. And what else are you into other than guns? What are your other hobbies? What else do you spend time hour after hour getting into?
So I'm so number one, it's not a hobby, but no, I'm a martial artist, so it's not a hobby. It's a way of life. Um, it's a whole different thing. I was taught a very strict and disciplined um, style, for lack of better words. I was taught Okinawan um, Shorinryu, which is very, very old school. Um, you bust your butt and you do what you got to do, and there's no other way to do it. That's what it is. It's just a straight up way of life. When I started doing that. My teacher saw that I was dedicated within a few weeks, and within that few weeks, he approached me and said, "Hey, I see you're doing this, and you really want to learn. You want to do this. Would you want to be a teacher? Would you want to eventually start doing this, this, and this?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah!" And so I then became what's called a Udishi. And so by title, I go by Udishi. What a Udishi is I'm expected to take over the dojo when he's ready to leave. And I learn things that other people do not learn for that reason. So he teaches me things that other people will never know unless I pass it on. Um, so it's kind of cool in that regard. I have 3 different teachers. Um, I've learned different weapon styles, um, multiple different disciplines when it comes to the art itself, not just karate, all kinds of stuff. I have multiple things. I'm not going to get into a whole bunch of them. There's a lot. Um, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, and you have to be willing to put that time in and that mindset in. And that mindset carries forth to the rest of how you live. And so, in regards to like what we're talking about here, where I jump in and help people out here, it's kind of the same thing. It carries forward. What you learn carries forward. So for me, I'm a very, very disciplined person because of what I've learned, and I'm always willing to teach. I'm always willing to help. And so that's how it goes, and it goes forward to everyone else that's in my life. That includes you guys. That's why I do the stuff I do. Um, I've been fortunate enough over the years that I've been in the firearm industry that I've met multiple people throughout the military ranks that have worked for me and come in and bought guns and so on and so forth. And that's why I jump into things like Justin's Final Mission with Eric and that and help out. I support the military 110%. I'm all behind them. That's what I do. I take care of them, take care of anyone I can. That's just how I am. I don't know how else to explain it. That's one thing I do. I ride bikes whenever I can. I haven't done it for the longest time, unfortunately. Weather's been pretty shitty, but hopefully I'll get out here soon because the weather's starting to get better. I used to race bikes. That was back in the day. Haven't done that in a long time. I would like to get back into racing again. And that's kind of it, man. I'm a reader. I've got a whole book collection. I'm a philosopher of sorts. I write my own philosophy. Um, all kinds, man. All kinds. I have various different things that a lot of people don't know and will probably never know.
Well, we're not going to discuss the Barbie doll collection. We're going to avoid that one.
You're talking to the Scotsman. You're not talking to Jen.
Oh, I forgot. Okay. Anyway, guys, it is 23:59, and for those of you who don't speak military time, that's 1 minute till midnight. So the Daily Gun Show with G Webs is about to start up. Go over there, jump on that one because we're about to call this one over for the night. I don't want to court G Webs. He puts on a great show every night or every weeknight. Go over there, check him out. If you're not on Gun Channels, be sure to go over there and sign up. It's a great place to be. It's a great source of information about firearms and the firearm community in general. If you have questions, there's somebody over there that's going to have an answer. There's a question area that you just click on and type in a question, and somebody will answer that question. And normally it don't take somebody long to answer your question or refer you to somebody who can answer that question. Scotsman, you got anything to plug, brother?
I really don't have a whole lot, man. Guys, if you can, please jump over. I'm not on Facebook, but I know that there's a Facebook thing out there for hashtag It's All About Jack. If you can, jump over, help out with that. If you can, please jump over and help out with Justin's Final Mission. Right now, we have the youth giveaway going on. There's 5 firearms in that giveaway. So please make sure you jump in and check that out. And that's pretty much all I got, guys. You guys know my Sunday chat. Myself and Alan B Pro. Sorry, it's not my chat. It's mine and Alan B Pro's chat. So make sure you jump in and help out if you can. Watch that show as well. It's always a good show, shit show. We have a lot of fun. A lot of people show up. So check that out.
Espada, you got anything to plug, my brother?
Scotsman and Outlaw and help Jack. I would rather promote Jack and try to help him out, and Scotsman and Outlaw, to be quite honest. I'm just starting up a little panel a couple weeks later, but I'd rather help Jack and get some help over there.
We will do what we can for our brother, Mr. Holster, and it's
You
all about
send
Jack.
a link, Scotsman, for Jack, how to help him?
Yeah, do you have that Facebook link, Scotsman?
I'm not on Facebook, so no, I do not. Alan,
I don't have it handy.
Alan B Pro's out there. Alan, you got the link for Facebook, man?
Or Hop Holster. So.
Let's see.
Sorry, guys. I'm not on Facebook. I don't do that crap.
Right there's Alan just posted the link for Justin's Final Mission. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste it over on the Gun Channel side real quick.
We got to help our veterans and help Holster. And I mean, that's just me, though. I'm just trying to do my part to try to get some voices to help veterans and help Holster.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Well, for some reason, I can't get this thing to paste right over on the Gun Channel side. Huh. That is weird. Let's try that again. Oh, well, that would explain it. I'm copying everything up here.
So, Scotsman, do you read Homer, the Iliad, and Socrates?
Yeah, I read all kinds, man. I have a lot of Asian philosophy, Western philosophy. I got all kinds, man.
Art of War?
All kinds, yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep, Book of Five Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ain't letting me post it over there for some reason. That don't make any sense. I've never had that problem before.
I started
Um,
I started buying books back in 2011 is when I started buying books, and it started with just a few books here and there on philosophy, and it went from a few books to an entire bookcase.
Oh yeah, that's the same here with me. I read a lot of philosophy. I read a lot of religion, read a lot of history mostly, and I read a lot about it, like like Game of Thrones type of stories.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I've learned so much just through reading. If you actually break it down, take the time. And the biggest thing is when you're reading stuff like that is take a chapter at a time. Don't try and
Yeah,
read the entire
dissect it
fucking book.
between the lines. Yeah, I agree.
Take a chapter at a time and take your time and figure out what that chapter just told you.
Oh yeah, and the many ways it describes certain things in that chapter in multitude of ways. In one sentence, they can tell you three different things or a multitude of things. So you have to read in between the lines.
Yep, exactly. And that's it, man. It's just like with some of the stuff, like my teacher, well, one of my teachers, my main teacher, I'll be learning something and then I start teaching it to someone. He's like, no, you're teaching it wrong. I'm like, that's what you just showed me. So how am I teaching it wrong? Well, he has 10 different ways to teach the same thing. And what I didn't get to begin with is yes, I learned it this way, but that person doesn't do it that way. I got to teach it to that person how they're going to understand it and how it's going to apply to them.
Yeah, that's the same thing how I'm doing with the medieval manuals, like about certain techniques in terms of martial arts within like using the weapon, like a sword or axe, a pole axe, a hand half sword. There's different ways of doing that move and doing it correctly. You just have to figure out what is your mobility or what is it trying to tell you. I see what you mean.
Yeah, and that's it. There's so many different ways. So like one of the things that made that I've been doing this for a long time and I've gone to a lot of competitions over the years and it was a big thing from my main teacher. He wanted us to go to competitions all the time. So we agreed on 2 competitions a year. Um, and I went to one with him and I'm watching this supposed black belt um, do a sword demonstration. And I shit you not. I almost broke in tears. It was that fucking bad. From the minute he drew the sword out of the scabbard and started swinging this thing around, and I mean just started swinging it. He wasn't doing any kind of technique whatsoever.
You have to let it flow, and some people just don't do it. They just like swing it as if it was like a regular toy.
And that's what he was doing. And he was teaching a brown belt, and that brown belt was doing the exact same fucking thing. And I'm just like, good God Almighty. And you got all these other people sitting there and they're going, whoo. And I'm like, dude, it's all fucking wrong.
That's the same thing that happened to me when this guy, he says he's been doing it for almost a couple of years of some of the manuals, and then he tries to show me how to block with a little shield with the spear, and I'm like, you're holding it wrong, you're gonna break your wrist. And he's like, no, you're crazy, you don't know what to do. I'm like, okay, let me thrust the spear. And mind you, it's not a real spear, it's like it's a wooden spear, but on the tip of it is like a cushion. Mm-hmm. Sure enough, that angle sprained his wrist.
Oh yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, and that's the thing that people don't get is everything when it comes to stuff like this is you need to understand it, you need to pay attention, and if someone tells you you're probably doing it wrong, you're probably doing it wrong.
Yeah,
it's all about angles. It's all about how to use your body the right way. And so like blocking is huge. Blocking is one of the biggest things you will learn in self-defense of any kind whatsoever, because it's all about self-defense. It's not about me just beating the living shit out of someone.
It's how to like, for instance, for me, it's how to deflect a sword with the sword, or how to deflect a sword with the shield, or how to deflect and
Exactly.
parry.
So like for me with Japanese sword, which is what I do. Aido. It's another one that I do. Aido
Yeah,
is when you're doing that, I'm not trying to touch your sword. I have
exactly.
nothing to do with your sword. It's for Aido is drawing the sword, making the cut, and putting my sword back away. That's it. I ain't touching your damn sword. I'm not blocking you. You ain't touching mine. I don't want to scratch on my sword. I'm getting the hell out of your way, and I'm cutting you up, and then put my sword away.
Exactly.
That's what we do.
Okay, guys. Well, I've got to cut this one off because G Webs has just started. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank everybody for showing up tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Remember, tomorrow at 6 p.m., I have a live show going up. That's Eastern time. Not sure what we're going to be discussing as of yet, but I'm sure we will come up with something, or we will just have us get together and have some fun. Let's see. Tomorrow night also we have at 7. Wait, hold on. Let me think. 8 o'clock. It's Tactical Tuesday with Ghost Tactical. At 9 o'clock, it's Hit or Miss. Tuesday nights at 9. Can't ever forget that one. That's $5 Night Strike if you're listening. Guys, I have had a blast. Thank you, Scotsman. Thank you, Espada. Thank everybody out there for listening. Thanks for the thumbs up and the likes. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I got to see something. And my guy didn't show up with a thumbs down tonight. I'm disappointed. Anyway, you guys take care. I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Have a good night.
Bye, everyone.
Later, guys. Appreciate y'all.